Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to bring you another bullet journal video. We're setting up for 2018. Stay tuned because I'm going to do a January setup very soon, but I'm actually switching up my journal for this year. My old bullet journal kind of turned into a hand lettering journal because I hand letter all the time. I'm just showing you some of my work here. I wanted to start fresh just to keep the two separate, my brush lettering and my planning. So this is my Lloyd term 1917, which I highly recommend and I love it, especially for my lettering. For my new one, I'm actually going to design the cover, and I do that as a side hustle. I actually make the journals and sell them, so I'm just going to show you some examples. These are ones that I still have available, but this last one is the same type of journal except ruled instead of dotted, so I'm kind of thinking of going with something like that. Dotted is the best for this purpose, of course, for bullet journaling, but anyway, I may have to do a video showing you how I design the cover, so let me know if you want to see that. We're starting with a yearly overview, and I recommend mapping this out in pencil first if you're unfamiliar with the spacing. I love my Faber-Castell Artist Pitt pens, but for brush lettering, these Tombow Food pens have really grown on me. It's the quickest pen to use for brush lettering. So easy to use. All the supplies will be linked below. I'm just speeding through this part. Basically, I'm just making mini calendars for each month. Just for quick reference, I'll refer back to this page all the time in the future. I know it. I think every bullet journal should have this as its first actual page. Some people leave lines or spaces by the months to mark key dates, but I prefer to just include that in my monthly setups instead and just leave these pretty short and concise and just on one page rather than spreading across the two. I'm highlighting the days of the week with a gray mild liner just because I like the way it pulls the page together. It's strictly for the aesthetic, it's not necessary. Okay, so I messed up on the May dates. My eyes played a trick on me, and I started Monday when the first is on a Tuesday. I didn't panic. I actually just grabbed some whiteout to hide the mistake as much as I could and moved on as I let it dry. I wanted to show you the part where I write over it, but that part didn't record. I'm sorry about that. I just went over it with an inky jelly roll pen and then added a piece of tape over it so that it wouldn't transfer onto the right page, because with all the texture on it and the ink just laying on top of the goopy whiteout, it didn't seem like it was going to hold there, so I just wanted to make sure to secure it. So that's the way I did it. It worked out fine, and you'd really never notice a mistake by the end unless you really look for it. So I'm happy with the way it turned out. It's better to start out with a mistake so you don't hold yourself to an unreasonable standard like I normally do. I'm normally obsessive with these kind of things, and I get upset when I make mistakes like that, but ever since I've let that go and relaxed more about it, especially with bullet journaling, I've been way more consistent with keeping up with my journals. So if you're trying to make it perfect, you're way less likely to dig into it and just fill up these pages. Moving on to the next page. This next page, I'm writing down my goals for the year, again using my Tombow pen. I like to keep these early pages simple and minimalistic, but don't worry, we'll have some fun in the monthly setup, so stay tuned for those. Once again, I want to constantly refer back to this page, so I stick with these two lists, and that's about it. The second being my home projects. I'm going to keep the list general for now. I wanted to fill out this part with you guys since I'm excited for the new year and I already have some ideas in mind. I do want to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and 10,000 followers on Instagram. I know that's aiming a little high for where I'm at right now, but I'm planning to work super hard and I believe I can make it happen, and I want to set that goal for myself. I also want to get healthy and in shape, finalize my wedding plans, and complete the first draft of my book I'm working on. As for the home projects, there's so much I want to add on here, but for now I want to finish the basement, get rid of the bushes out in the front of my house, and plant an herb garden. Kenny and I are going to sit down and work on the rest of the list together and then rank them by priority at a later time. So stay tuned because my January plan with me is coming very soon. I'm actually brainstorming some ideas for that video as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that because I already have some really cool spreads in mind. But as far as the monthly spreads that I have learned that I liked from previous months doing bullet journaling, I made a little list for reference of the ones that really worked for me. So I'm just gonna read them off really quick just so you guys know what to expect. So the first one is a small calendar in the corner and split the page into personal and business with the dates down the most left side. So basically that's just my monthly overview where I track just like what I'm doing each day. There's tons of ways to set that up, but I do like more of a clean and minimalistic feel for the monthly overview as opposed to an actual visual calendar like we did in the first page today. The next one is habit tracker and mood tracker. Those work really well for me overall. And then I also have my little side business, my side hustle, and that is to make and sell journals. So I do want to track that each month, the sales or orders, the custom requests, the ideas, and the inventory, just so I can keep that all straight in my head. And then of course I'm going to do some weekly spreads as well. I'm going to smush it into the center and include sidebars this time, just so it doesn't get too jumbled since I do write really small. I do want some of the important things to stand out. So I'm going to make a sidebar and call it highlights. So I'll show you that when the time comes. That's what you might expect for January, something similar to this. I just did this for fun. So if you guys have any suggestions or other spreads that you'd like to see me include or any questions, just leave them in the comments and I will get back to you guys. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on social media, and I will see you all in my next video.